Hello everybody and welcome to my very first YouTube video. Today I'm here to talk about the Drysoon Heated Era by Lakeland. I've owned the Deluxe edition for around 2.5 years. I bought this with my own money. This isn't a sponsored video as I'm very new to YouTube. The Mini and the 2-tier cost around 4p per hour. The Mini is a slightly slender version of the standard, and the 2-tier, as you would imagine, just has 2 layers with runs which you can dry clothes upon. The standard and the deluxe costs around 6p per hour to heat. So you can buy a few additional items for the heated era. What I would absolutely recommend that you buy, and if you have a look at the reviews that are online, you'll find when people haven't bought this as part of a package, their reviews don't tend to be quite as good. And what that is the cover that goes over the top. The only time that I don't use the cover is when I'm doing bed linen, and we have a super king size bed, so I'll put the bed linen on the era and then I'll put the super king size sheet over the top, and that will help create the same space and the same warmth inside as using the cover. But otherwise I always use the cover every single time. The other items that are available with the heated era are the peg hanger and the mesh shelves, though personally I wouldn't bother with either of these. What I do with any delicates is simply lay them on top of the cover, and as heat rises they will naturally dry. How I use my heated era is I either put 1 or 2 loads of washing on it. You can only use half of the era and have the other half folded down, but I never do this. But this could be useful to someone if they were only doing half a load. But what I do is if I have 1 load of washing, I use every other run. And if I have 2 loads of washing, I use pretty much every single run or rail of the era. When I just have 1 load, I use every other run, and I try and alternate this in the levels. So for instance, I will start at the front on the bottom run, and then start at the back on the middle run, then start at the top on the top run, or at the front on the top run rather. And this way you've got a heated rail either side and above and below the items that you're drying, which I just feel helps the heat circulate a little bit more. Also, I never use the heated era on its own. We live in quite a modern flat here, and we do get some problems with condensation. There isn't a lot of airflow, so I always use my dehumidifier whenever I use the heated era. In terms of how long I use the heated era for, generally I put the clothes on overnight as we have cheaper electricity through the night. I will put the clothes on between 8 and 9 o'clock in the evening, and then I will turn the heated era off around 8 to 9 o'clock in the morning. So for around 12 hours I will have it on for. I will then leave the heated era up the whole day whilst I go to work, and I'll leave the dehumidifier running the entire day, even though the heated era is off at this stage. If I'm drying 2 loads of clothes, I try and get it on a little bit earlier in the evening, so have it on for at least a couple of extra hours. You might want to think about when you use your heated era depending on your needs and your electricity. So if you have cheaper electricity periods, you might want to tie it in with this. It also does help warm the room, so you might want to have it on in the evening if you need that little bit of an extra heat boost, as it will raise the temperature a couple of degrees. Also, I only really use the heated era during the colder months. I use it on average 2 or 3 times a week, depending on whether I put 1 or 2 loads on it. I would only use the heated era during the summer months if we had an extended wet period. Otherwise, I always try and dry clothes outside whenever I can, because that's better for the environment. The heated era, however, will use less electricity than a standard tumble dryer. The reason why we bought the heated airer is because we don't have a dryer and we have a very small flat, and my partner already had a washing machine. If we did change our washing machine, I would consider getting a washer dryer. However, I don't like to tumble dry my clothes. I'd be happy to tumble dry bed linen and items like that, but I would sooner wash and hang out my clothes because I think they last longer that way. So there are different ways in which you can use the controls on the airer. I tend to just simply switch it on and let it heat and then switch it off in the morning, but there are programs available on it. There is, if you press the program button and get the H to come up, this is for a timer for how long you'd like the airer to heat, and you just adjust the time by pressing the hours button and then press the mode button again, and it will heat for that many hours. You can have it programmed to heat up to 12 hours. You could also select the P program, which is a delayed start program, and you can delay the start in the same manner for up to 12 hours. The only addition to the heated airer that we have, which is no longer available, is the wheels, and the wheels are not great, if I'm honest, so I'm not surprised that they didn't continue selling these. I think the idea of having wheels is a really good idea, but I think they should consider perhaps having slightly more chunky wheels, as when you have the heated airer up and even have one load of washing, it's not particularly easy to move around with the little piddly wheels that are on the heated airer that we have. However, it would be useful when you have the heated airer folded down for moving it around from room to room, particularly for perhaps someone who is a little bit less able, maybe an elderly person. It might be useful in this case.
So all in all, I would recommend the Drysoon Deluxe heated airer. It served us well. It's cheap to run, small to store, easy to use and gentle on clothes. The downsides are it takes a long time to dry, and sometimes if you've had two loads on the dryer, that won't always be entirely dry and may need to go in the airing cupboard for a little bit longer just to finish off. It also takes up a little bit of space when up and isn't the most attractive item to have up in your living room for long periods.
So thank you for watching and supporting my channel. If you would like to subscribe, please do, so I can make more videos. If you have experience of any of the Drysoon heated airer range or any other heated airers, please comment and let me know how you found them down in the comments below. So please do subscribe, press like if you enjoyed this video, and turn the notifications on so you can enjoy more content.